Chapter 3. Sammy's laugh was jagged, bitter, like glass shattering on pavement, the sound bouncing off the chapel's worn walls. Dad loved the Corps, loved the bond, the steel it forged in him, but hated how it chewed him up and spat him out. Came back with shadows stitched into his skin. Said the real war wasn't over there in the sand, but here, in the streets, in the marrow of our people's minds and souls. Kept me clear of enlisting. Said my battlefield was different, a crusade of spirit, not bullets. Then they took him anyway. Him, Mom, my brothers, one by one like reapers plucking flowers from a garden, till I was the last stem standing. Left me to carry this torch, to build something from the cinders they left behind. And I do love the work, the real shit. Feeding folks, lifting them up when the world's boots on their neck, watching their eyes light up with hope. That's my oxygen, Frank. But the rest? The circus, the yuppies with their fake smiles, the cameras flashing like vultures circling a corpse, me playing nice for their crumbs? That's a chain I'd snap if I could. Feels like trading my soul for a seat at a table I don't even want to eat at. His voice dipped, a preacher's gravitas laced with a chill that hinted at his powers, the weight of loss and duty pressing down like a storm cloud. Sammy's love for the community shone fierce, but the bitterness of leadership's facade cut deeper, a wound he couldn't hide. Frank's gut twisted, his own losses bleeding into Sammy's words. "Why not hunt him down?" he asked, voice raw, slipping past his guard. "Take what's owed?" Sammy's stare hardened, a vow in a whisper. "Elohim called me here, to lead, to grow something bigger, maybe even to meet you, set you straight." Frank bristled, cynical of this kid, a decade his junior, claiming to guide him. Sammy's pain was old, softened by time. Frank's was fresh, a wound still weeping. The silence thickened, pews creaking faintly. Raw approached, his bulk a quiet storm. "Frank, right? Seen you at study groups, quiet type," he rumbled, voice steady, a scar glinting above his brow. Frank's lips twitched, masking tension. "Yeah, listen more than I talk." Sammy's smile returned, guarded. "He's curious about us, thought I'd show him." Proverb hovered, eyes blazing, whispering to his crew, head swiveling toward Frank. Charles watched, still as stone, suspicion a quiet hum. Frank faced Sammy, voice low. "You've got a solid group. They don't let strangers in easy." "Crew?" Sammy echoed, his tone shifting, articulate, streetwise. "This ain't no crew, Frank. This is family. Souls tied by blood and struggle, wise to the system's chains. We know the only way out is together. In this world, they're my heart." His voice hardened, steel beneath silk. "But if I need 'em, they're my fist." Frank's hand twitched, the gun in his waistband, tucked under his dark green flannel, a cold anchor. He's warning me, knows something. His pulse spiked, but his face stayed rock. "Family's worth that. I do the same." Sammy's eyes held his, a dare unspoken. The chapel loomed, a web of trust and threat, and Frank stood at its edge, the mission a shadow he couldn't shake. For now he'd watch, wait, the hunter's play. Frank's hand lingered near his waistband, the gun's cold steel a tether to his purpose, grounding him as Sammy's gaze bore into him, a quiet storm of suspicion veiled in welcome. "Family's worth that," Frank repeated, his voice a low growl, clipped and deliberate, but the air between them thickened, heavy with unspoken barbs. "He's testing me, feeling me out like a blade on a whetstone." His pulse thudded, a steady drumbeat, but his eyes stayed hard, unyielding, meeting Sammy's dare head on. Sammy's lips curved, a smile that didn't reach his eyes, his voice dropping to a preacher's murmur laced with steel. "We protect our own, Frank. Always have, always will. Blood and bone, that's the covenant here. But trust's a two-way street, paved with time and truth. You feel me?" Frank's nod was slow, a predator's pause, his words measured like rounds in a clip. "Yeah, I feel you. Trust ain't handed out like candy. It's earned, step by step. I'm here to put in the work." Sammy's gaze lingered, a silent scalpel slicing through Frank's facade, assessing the man beneath the mask. Then his hand clapped Frank's shoulder, firm and deliberate, a gesture warm as a brother's embrace, yet sharp with warning, like a blade pressed just shy of breaking skin. "Good," he said, his tone smooth but edged, a preacher blessing a soldier he wasn't sure he'd absolve. "'Cause we could use a man like you, someone who's stared into the dark and don't blink. But we watch close, Frank, real close." The chapel's shadows stretched long, a lattice of faith and menace, and Frank stood at its crossroads, Valentina's orders a phantom weight against his ribs. He'd play the game, watch weights strike when the moment split open. But as Sammy's eyes held his, a splinter of doubt burrowed deep, a whisper in the dark. What if this ain't the prey I was sent to bleed?